Hey, there we go, it's working. Hello again. I said I would be back a week ago, and here we are a week later, and I'm back. I still don't have my music situation figured out, and as you can tell, I really don't have my lighting situation figured out. I got something, like, resembling decent set up last week, and I super don't remember what I did. All gone now. So I'm purple on this side, shadow on my face on this side, and big bright white light accentuating the bald spot. So really nice, really flattering. It's great. And I have no idea if you're gonna be able to see any of the Legos. So we are gonna find out. So today the plan is to do this one, and already I hate this. Hold on. We're gonna do some camera reconfiguring on screen here. In fact, this is not actually what we're gonna be starting with. These are, because I have some repairs to make. I knocked a bunch of these off of my shelf this morning, and I was like, well, I'm streaming anyway, so I'm just gonna save it and fix it on stream. So these actually don't look horrible, but the color's off, and that's gonna bother me. So let's see what we can do. Saturation. Oh, low key, that actually helped. Oh, genuinely, that's just good now. Might be a little too much, actually. Let's dial that back. That's not bad. All right. And then what about my face? My face doesn't look good, but the camera's not going to change that. Configure video. Also, the firmware on my camera updated now too, so I don't even have my settings from last week, which is great. Thank you, Logitech, for giving me worse software on an old camera than it had before. That's really cool of you. I feel like the saturation's probably fine. It's probably... Why can't I put anything to auto? That's what's weirding me out here. I know none of you can see what's happening, but we're doing it anyway. If I hold this up to this camera, can we base the colors on that? Let's find out. Eee. Oh God. Well, it turns out having the gain turned way up, not the solution. Maybe that's why it looked like ass, because the gain was turned way up. Oh, that looks so much better now. It's super dark, but it looks way better. Bob the exposure up one? No. No. Oh great, I fucked it up. I think that's where we had it. I feel like I'm not going to get it better than this. Contrast. I'm just having fun playing with my camera settings now. Boom. Hello. There we go. I think that's pretty reasonable. Wow, look at that. All right, and let's pretend that The stream started with it looking like this. That's really dark now, though. Feels really dark. Like, the colors are nice. Here. Pop over to my just this camera so you can see it. Like, the colors are nice on the background and everything, but it's like really dark on my face, which tells me I probably just need more light on my face. But you know, that takes effort, so it's not gonna happen. All right, so to the actual video, live stream, whatever this is. What format is this? This is one of the ones we built yesterday. For those of you who just joined, which is everyone, because I did the intro before anyone joined, I knocked these off the shelf this morning. And I was like, well, screw it, I'll just repair them on camera then, because they were stuff I built on camera, and I'm building more on camera, so I figured it would be a good way to start off. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's one. The other one, I think this is just, yeah, that just popped off of there. I suppose I could unflatten the one side of this. Pull that over. Come on, stop fighting. There we go. And then this one is going to be a little wonky, I think, because I don't remember where this... I mean, I guess it doesn't matter where the arm is supposed to go. Just put it where I want it. I think it was a thing lower, like that. Does that look good? I think that looks fine. Can lean it, whoop, or I can't lean it to the side. I was going to say I'll lean it to the side a bit, but I guess not. Come on. I tell you what, working with the name brand Legos last week really gave me an appreciation for not dealing with off-brand. Come on, get on the peg. There we go. Okay. That's in. That's aimed, for lack of a better word, I guess. And I've broken the other one. That's supposed to be to the side because it's got the two little bits here where it's off, see? And then this guy can kind of go straight up, I think. How's that look? Definitely different than I originally had it, but you know what? I don't mind it. It is not bad. Okay. There's those three. I'm gonna quickly put those back in their places. I had the tall ones in the back, I think. And then that's okay. Oh, ow. Oop. Yeah, it don't look too bad. You can barely see the red one peeking over the top there. Excuse me. All right. Now for the main event. Whoops. I have the camera like way further to the right this time. Last time it was a little more to the left, I thought, but that's okay. All right. So we did 2 of these last week. I think it was 2. Yeah, it's the little purple one back there. Little purple one in the front. And the one that's kind of buried in the middle there. It's the dark green one right in the center in the brown pot. So I think I said I was just going to go through these in order from this point, because I started with bag 1, I want to say. Yeah, so what are all these? This is the one we started with. We did these two. Now we're going to work on this one. All right, let's do it. That'll be bag 2. The rest of this crap can go away. I was going to say something else there, but I thought better of it. Yeah. There we go. Make a little mess on the floor for myself to clean up. Ooh, that... I've got pieces trying to run away. Okay. Yeah, this time I'm just facing more this way, so I'll put my screen over here so I can look at myself. Great. Actually, not great. Don't want to look at myself. Okay. Let's get flipping through the manual. Manual? Instructions. Is this bag 1, bag 2? No, okay, that's the very beginning. I think we're halfway through it. Halfway through is here. Yeah, all right. Sweet. Is everything on screen? No. I have to shift my whole life this way. I could shift the camera, I suppose. Hey, look at that. The camera is in a more convenient location now. Oh, that's actually like a million times better. Wow. Can't believe I didn't think of that before. Okay. Build in the middle here. So, wants me to start with this piece. All right. Get some... What did I do that for? I just did that. It didn't say to do that. I'm on step 1 and I'm already like going completely off book here and screwing things up. There we go. Let's get these next ones down. This is more colorful. Okay, here's something interesting. These bricks, the little plates with this rounded off edges, I don't know the name of them, but these I see a ton more on, what's it called? Off-brand sets. Weirdly enough. And like, I don't think I've actually ever seen one of these in an official Lego set yet. Not my own anyway, like maybe watching YouTube I have, but I don't know, that's interesting. I just never see them. It's weird how that works. Like, I know I knew they had a real Legos version of them, but I didn't know that, or I had never, how do I want to say it? I never encountered them in the wild, so to speak. All right. Oh, this is going so fast just because, like, the pieces aren't fighting me and trying to attack my fingers as I go. I think I talked about this ad nauseum last time, probably, but I'm going to say it again. I love the off-brand kits because they are... Should probably put this on first, because they're cheap. You know, that's the reason to like the off-brand thing. Is that how far in that's supposed to go? I think it is. All the way. Yeah. We'll find out. But yeah, that's the reason I tend to like the off-brand things, but good God, are they like painful to work with sometimes compared to actual Lego brand. Like this, you know, Lego stuff, you press it together and it just stays there. But then with a lot of the other ones, in order to get it to the point of fitting together. Like this will just fit together, and then you kind of have to like squeeze it if you want it to stay structural and like firm, you know. But the other ones, a lot of the time, it's like you have to squeeze them just to get it to go into place, which is not pleasant. It doesn't work very well. Okay, so I need all of these guys. These things, while I'm looking at them and thinking of this, these things are insane. Because there's a lot of like weird little grassy things like that in Lego, but they're all like kind of expensive is my understanding. So there's a person I follow for Lego train stuff, and I haven't watched it forever, but he builds these huge like cities and sprawling landscapes and stuff, and it's like the scale is crazy, but what's even crazier is you look at it and you're like, oh, how's he getting all this texture? There's an area on his map where there are just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. Like he bought a full big bag of them and just went in and just went for hours. And then he would take different grass pieces and mix it in, different types of things that can look like grasses and bushes and shrubbery and stuff, and mixed it all in. Like, the scale would be the wrong size for something like this. It's all small stuff, you know. So it's, like, really detailed and textural. It really is like textural things. That's what it is, texture. But it's texture that just takes so much effort and like resources, I guess, because normally you put texture into like patterns and basic stuff that's repeated and everything and randomizing stuff you're already doing. But this is like taking on top of that and adding all these things to it. And of course, you know, most of the bricks don't have a spot for that to go in, so you have to then like add a stud to the bottom of it, and it's just wild. Like some of these people who build like these big Lego towns and stuff are a different breed. Like holy shit. Hey, first shit of the stream. You know, it's something kind of funny actually. There was a while, I say a while, up until like I started doing impromptu live streams basically, where I considered myself a clean content creator, and it's interesting because I don't care anymore, as you can tell by the amount of times I say shit. But like if I'm doing an actual video for my channel that's gonna sit there and tons of people are, well, tons, probably like 40 or so people eventually over several years will end up watching it. And just anyone can access it at any time with no effort. I'll put a lot more effort into cleaning up my language and being a little more intentional about what I do and don't say, but with these it's kind of just off the dome, you know? So it's interesting, right? Because that's something I hear a lot about with comedians, weirdly enough, because I follow, just in the past, like, span of the last year or so, right? I've ended up following a bunch of, like, probably very far left comedians. And actually, a lot of them I discovered through watching Taskmaster. But it's always interesting, right? When I go back to Jim Gaffigan, right? Because I think pretty much anyone can enjoy Jim Gaffigan's stand-up. It's pretty universal, you know. And by the way, when I say far left, I mostly mean queer. Like, you kind of have to swing pretty hard left in order to survive as a queer or, you know, female stand-up. But yeah, so... Oh, these are weird. What? It's like a jumper plate, but it's rounded. Oh, that is wild. I've never seen one of those before. Like, ever. Lego or knockoff or anything. That's wild. Okay, very cool. These guys. Okay, cool. I haven't seen these either. These are interesting. They look like knee pads, almost. Anyway, I was talking about comedy and Jim Gaffigan. But I always see people, like, going crazy talking about how he's... They put a qualifier on it, you know? They're like, oh, he's the best clean comic. And I'm like... Or how about you just like what his jokes are and find them... Like, who cares? Why does it matter that he's a clean comic? It's clearly not comedy that is for children, you know? He is still doing it for an adult audience. And it's like, yeah, it's a comedian you can take your kids to, but it's like, you see it so much, and it's almost like a moral standpoint for people that the comedians they watch don't swear at all. Or like I can see talking about sexual content, but like swearing and everything, it's like, wow, there are a lot of people who are really, like really hard on that, I guess, where they're like very specific, and I never realized that until kind of branching out from that area of stand-up into other areas and finding out like, oh hey, you know, the people who swear aren't just assholes. Some of them are Joe Lycett and, you know, most comedians. And I get it if that's not your thing and you'd prefer to be watching it around other people, if you have kids, and it's like, okay, well, if I have a comedian on who's swearing all the time, I have to be really careful, or I have to use headphones. But it almost seems like for a lot of people it's less about what if my 8-year-old child is in the room, and more about I don't know, taking like a moral standpoint on it. It's interesting. I don't know that I'm necessarily trying to comment one way or another on it, but yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about stand-up comedy, and all of them are bad thoughts to put on YouTube, which is ironic. Because I do not claim to be a comedian. Wanted to at one point, and then I realized I do not have the self-confidence for it, which, you know, kind of necessary. Especially if you are the type of comedian that I would end up being, which is the very self-deprecating kind. Because I'm realizing some self-deprecating comedy is meant to be taken as, you know, I'm making fun of myself and I'm making fun of people like me. But a vast majority of it is actually some people who are the most secure in who they are, of like anyone you'll ever meet, you know. Oh, is this the dark brown? It is. Okay. Oh, there aren't any light brown of these. Interesting. I see. Light brown of these and the dark brown of those. Am I making sense? Did that make sense? I don't think it did. Was it a sentence even? It's a good question. See, that's the whole thing. It's like this right there. It's the self-deprecating comedy. But it's also like, in order to make fun of yourself, you actually have to be pretty damn secure in the things that you are making fun of yourself for, because you can bet your ass that people are going to join in. I mean, that's something they talk about on with Trixie Mattel and Katya, whose last name in drag I won't pronounce, because I super don't know how to say it, even though I'm a fan, which, you know, fake fan, I guess. I like how I'm looking on the screen for the instructions. I keep looking back up at the screen to find the instructions, and I can't read the instructions on the screen because there's a glare on it. I have to read, I'm sitting here trying to read the instructions off of the screen when they are sitting on the desk in front of me. So if I can shift this off of comedy and things I'm not qualified to talk about back onto YouTube and things I kind of am, that's actually something people talk about all the time with YouTube. How do these go on? Is it just... Oh, it's this. Dumbass. Oh, to finish off what I was going to say about Trixie and Katya, because I brought them into it, because I enjoy their show. Which, by the way, at some point, I do want to do a video on this channel trying to follow one of Trixie's drag tutorials. I think that would be very fun. I've put makeup on my face exactly once so far, earlier this week on Thursday. I had a good time. I didn't think I did very good, but my professor said I am, quote, a natural. So y'all will get to judge my skills when we do the drag video. But then again, I am also doing... I have to remember, too, I'm also... Ooh, shit. I had a piece start rolling away towards... Excuse me, towards the back of the desk. Reached for it and punched the monitor. But yeah, y'all can judge me on that if you want. Figure out... tell me in the comments below how good my makeup skills are or how poor they are. When I do that, which will be probably in a couple months from now, because I haven't done that part in class. I straight up knocked the camera sideways. That's funny. Is that centered? Oh no, it's super not. Oh no, what have I done to you? I don't know why this just... It's leaning. Stop leaning. Bastard. This is what I get for punching things. Did that do it? That's vaguely correct. I think the camera is actually angled straight because it looks like it's straight in the, edge of the room there. I think it's just the flag, the window, the desk, and my head that are all crooked. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. But yeah, so they said about it on one of the episodes of where they were like, oh, and by the way we talk to each other and the way we're about to, roast our own looks in this episode is not an invitation for you to join in. Because apparently they get people who come up to them on the street and they're like, "Hi, bald," which is hysterical to me. Because I'm quiet gay. I do not have that kind of confidence. People who do that are what I refer to as loud gay. Did I also bump this camera? Can I get this camera a little bit further off the... Oh. Apparently not. What if I do this? That might not be better. I think this was a lateral move. Actually, I don't mind that. I think there's something there. Something changed. It's a little better. Whatever. I think the real thing is everything's on angles here. And it's going to piss me off no matter what. Until I actually, make a mount for this camera that's aimable. I need a 3D printer for that, though. Actually, come to think of it. My school has a 3D printer. So maybe that's something I'll do. Maybe I'll stream creating that. Who knows? That'd be fun. I don't know. I kind of just want to start going live on weekends, just occasionally for whatever. Because, I don't know. I've been enjoying it. I like doing it. My regret from the past times of doing it is that I didn't do it more often and more consistently to where I could actually, get more enjoyment out of it. And and like actually have some people who start coming in and having conversation and stuff. I'm assuming that goes on like that. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That is such a delightful thing. Like, hold up. Okay, I'm gonna grab some. The plant is a little wonky and there's hard water buildup. Oh shit. I knocked it over. Hard water buildup down the side. But, like, look how similar they made that. And this pot's old and dirty, so it's supposed to be a brighter color. But like, look how similar that is. Like, in size, in shape, in color, that is perfect. That's freaking awesome. And it turns out I apparently need to repot this plant because it is on the verge of falling out of this pot. Back you go. Speaking of which, I gotta water those plants. I haven't watered them in like 2 weeks. Probably more than that. I think I've watered them twice since I got home, so it's probably been once a week about, actually. I didn't water them last weekend, though. Where'd I put the... Yeah, that's what I'm doing next. Okay. Where in the hell are you telling me to put those? Oh, it's got information on the flower here, too. It says, lace leaves are susceptible to pests like aphids and spider mites, so having a hungry ladybug in the pot is a good way to keep your plant healthy. Oh. Oh, that's what the little one is. It's a little ladybug. I saw that earlier, and I was wondering when it was going to come in. I didn't see the pattern on the one on there at first. This guy right here. All right. This is... I'm going to try to figure out where the hell these are supposed to go. So if I put it like that... Ladybug will go there. Ooh, it's wobbly. It looks like this goes here. Yeah. This goes here, maybe? And then like that. Usually Lego is a bit better at like getting things in a way that, putting the instructions in a way that is easy to read. Also love the little green lightsaber pieces. Although I think these are actually slightly longer than the lightsaber pieces, and the ends are different shape. So they're not the lightsaber pieces I thought they were. Huh, interesting. See, okay, this is right. All right, y'all can see this. It wants me to take this piece here, put this in, right, and then stick this piece over it and slide it all the way down. Which, like, that's easy enough, but why would you not do the easier thing of put this on there and then just stick this through both of them? Weird. There. These are going to be real fucking fragile. Alright, and then you go on that. Cool. Now I need 1, 2... I'm doing this... I realize I'm doing this behind the pot, so you can't see it. 2 and 3... There we go. Yes, that looks great. And then, oh, here's a fancy one. All right. That, whoa, shit. That, stop sticking to my finger. Bitch, stay where I put you. That is that, right? Yeah, that's that. It's a that. So that there, one of these, which, another piece I've never seen before. Right? Look at that. Odd. It is definitely made specifically for flowers, right? Also slightly annoys me that they're different greens. I don't know if you can tell with these two. Yeah, you can see it a little bit there. They're definitely two different greens. You can probably make it out a little bit better on this camera. Would you focus, you bastard? I don't know if it focused or not. My hand was in the way. Yeah, so these, and another one of these. Oh yeah, that just kind of makes it face the other direction. Get the circly bit on there. And stab a banana and then its whole... I was going to say jam a banana in its hole. Oh god, nightmare. Let's see. It is like a little banana sticking out of there, though, isn't it? They made it yellow and everything. It's like that light banana yellow. And that goes on top of that. Cool. Leaves. Leaf time. Yeah, they can go there. Have some leaves. This way, yeah. That like that. Oh, I'm making 2 of these. Okay. So I'll do those both. What? Flip it. Get this underneath. I see. I wonder how they rate the difficulty on Lego kits, because they'll have like this difficulty rating. Or do they? Maybe I'm dumb. It says 1 to 3. I don't know what that means. People? Maybe I'm dumb. I thought they used to have difficulty ratings, but maybe they don't. Whoops, punch the microphone. I'm good at punching stuff today. There we go. Alright. It's amazing, right? Because I have way less conversation this week than I did last week. And it's funny because I actually have more to talk about this week than I do last week. But most of it is either stuff with friends that is not necessarily mine to share. At least not publicly on the internet, you know. And Mitch, go where I put you. And the rest is like design stuff for shows I'm working on that I probably shouldn't spoil. So it's kind of funny. I have like all this crazy stuff going on, and absolutely none of it is stuff I can talk about publicly. These little yellowy cream colored flowers here. Oh, I see. That I fucked this. Hold on. This needs to twist this way, so the leaves kind of hang down. Yeah. So that kind of hangs down towards the middle instead of off to one side like I had it, because the view in the book is a little wonky. All right. Get that one in there. Oh, I love the leaves hanging down over the sides of the pot. Like y'all saw potentially, if you were here, my actual plants last week, and I do kind of just let them run wild, and there's 3 of them that are currently climbing over the edge of 5 of them that are currently climbing over the edge of their pot into their neighbor's pot. Oh, stay there. Okay. Nearing completion on this one. Oh, we only got a couple pages left. Wow. 2 of these. All right. Get these on here. I feel like this is going way faster than the last time. Well, it probably is because the Lego kits are actual Lego. And I'm sorry, but as much as I am a fan of suspension of disbelief and kit bashing and using model pieces where they're not designed for, but they work for and suggest the correct thing. As long as I own this, I will never not look at that and think seashell. It will always look like a seashell, no matter what. Being way too close for this microphone to be where it is. Like this, this is always going to look like a seashell to me. No matter how much it's on a stem, like a flower, I will be forever stuck seeing the one thing that it was initially designed for, unfortunately. It's just a really specific looking model, you know? Get these little devil horn things in there. Let's see if I can show this up close. Yeah, like bull horns. I was wondering how those were going to get used. It's like I didn't exactly look super closely at the picture on the box, you know. Let's see if I can get those to vaguely match. There we go. There's one. There's a second one, hopefully. What can I talk about for this week? I suppose... Well, the only people I know are watching are people who already know all this, probably. But I suppose something I could talk about is... like, I have a new show that I'm working on. And I'm, like, immediately designing and getting straight into it and everything. Because... low-key, alright, don't tell any of my future employers this, right? But I say publicly posting it onto the internet. Don't tell any of my future employers this, but I kind of like the challenge of a time constraint on a show. And really with designs, I like working in limitations. Which I think is probably the reason I'm not a huge fan of Shakespeare. Because there is just so much that you can do with it. Like, genuinely. People talk about it all the time, and I'm like, yeah, there's so much to do with it, but what do you do with it? You know? Oh, these are the little inner parts of the flower. That's cool. I like that. How many of those is... Well, I guess I just do half and half, right? There's no more. Yeah. Cool. Oh, I'm gonna make them so they don't line up on purpose. But yeah, so it's interesting, right? Because I'm not a huge fan of Shakespeare, which is weird for theater people. Because Shakespeare, while it's harder to read, harder to analyze, easier to do wrong and miss details and stuff, people see it as a challenge, right? But also, it's interesting because it really is just kind of an open book with Shakespeare. Like, you can kind of just do anything, and that's not always a good thing, right? Like, usually it is. Usually you want that. But there's sometimes when I've kind of been currently struggling on the one Shakespeare show I'm designing. Not struggling in an it's going to be a problem way, but struggling in a have to kind of force myself to come up with ideas. Like, nothing's coming naturally. All right. Being very careful with these stems. This is actually so freaking awesome. Like, hold on. Let me get these angles a little better, I think. That's what I should do here. Yeah, and then I'll turn around for you. Like, this is awesome. Look at that. That's so freaking cool. Spin that one a little more towards center. That looks fucking great. it's like none of this looks like the thing it is, and then you put the final piece on and it's like, oh, that's just straight up real flowers. Like, that's so cool. All right. So I instantly redact the thing I just said about, or retract, not redact. I'm censoring it. You can't stop me. I'm going back and cutting it out right now. No, I'm retracting the thing I said about I'll never be able to see those as flowers and not seashells. Because they, like, the second it's all put together, it becomes flowers. That's so cool. I'll keep going on the Shakespeare thing in a second once we get the next kit out. Oh, I'm going to knock some off that bed. All right, so these are... I want to do 3 more today. We're going to do 2 small ones and 1 big one. I think that's the plan. Depending on what time we finish the small ones, I guess. Because the big one... And I knocked it over. It's just an empty box. Okay. So the question is, do I do the succulents one, which I like more? Or do I do the carnivorous plants? Is this... I don't know if that's carnivorous or not. It probably isn't. But carnivorous plants and a weird flower thing. Or succulents. Also, very bold choice to show a bunny or cactus from the top. Interesting. It's one of those, like, do I take the fun one now? Or do I take the one I'm less interested in and save the best for last? You know what? Actually, I'm going to do this one today because I think this one will end up taking more time. Oh, well, I don't know. Screw it, let's do the carnivorous plants. Why not? I think those are actually the next numbers up anyway. Ooh. Is this... Okay. It's a red sundew. That is also a carnivorous plant. Okay, now I'm far more interested, because it's rare you see a sundew. I didn't recognize it as a sundew, which may be a little bit of an insult to the model maker, but, you know. Alright, yep, it's 3 and 4. Let's get out number 3. But on Shakespeare. So, there's so much you can do with Shakespeare, and there is, while you're reading it, if you're good at reading it, which I tell people I'm bad at reading it kind of as an excuse as to why I'm so slow with designing it. It's more because the stuff doesn't come to me, and I'll explain that in a second. But, oh, these are cool. That's an interesting piece. Look at that. The jaws of the fly trap, which don't actually line up with each other as far as I can tell. That's odd. Yeah, they super don't line up. Weird. Oh my god, do you know what this is? I just realized it. Oh, I see you in chat. Sorry about that. I didn't notice before because it's at the far edge of my other screen. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna save the best for last and do the succulents next week. I think that is the way to go. Because these are also interesting, and now that I've opened it up, I am plenty interested. Alright. Let's hit this. Because this part's going to be mostly the same as the one we did last week, the ones we started on, because the pots are the same. So now the pots should hopefully go pretty quick. I think they're the same. I actually don't remember doing this, so maybe they're not the same. It looks similar, though. Where the hell is that? I keep finding hairs on my desk. It's like I have hair or something. Let's see. I'm losing it. There it is. But yeah, Willie Shakes. So it's amazing, right? You you realize if you read a lot of Shakespeare just like how little stuff has changed from then to now, and how much it's changed as well. And let me tell you, there's still nothing better than reading through a play from whatever time Shakespeare was alive. I don't remember off the top of my head. 1400s, I want to say. And going like, wow, that is a straight up dick joke in iambic pentameter, like written in poetry in verse. And I do remember doing this now. And like William Shakespeare, most famous playwright of all time, at the current point in history that we're at, just like straight up casually threw some dick jokes in there. Like any of us would. And I'm like, wow, okay. Society isn't so different, huh? But yeah, it's always cool and it's interesting, and I learn new things every single time I read a Shakespeare play. And every time you read one of them, again, like one that you've already read, you will pick out new information every single time, right? Which is fantastic. And actually, sometimes that new information will contradict old information you thought you knew, which is great. And a lot of it depends on the context of, the play that you're performing. What was I saying a minute ago about? Oh yeah, I've discovered recently that I am actually like pretty decent at reading Shakespeare, because that's the thing, right? It's hard to read Shakespeare because it's so dense. Your eyes want to do the thing where your eyes keep reading and your brain has stopped processing it and started thinking about something else. So you're getting the visual of looking at the text, but you're not getting any of the actual words. What I was gonna say, that's right, I'm all over the place today. This is freaking cake frosting. Like, if we had some of these round pieces that it would go with, I could show you. But like, it's pieces this size, but thicker, that go under it and form the cake, and it drips down the sides. It's literally friggin' cake frosting. And we're using it for a mouth, which is kind of ironic if you think about it. Oh, I'm butchering the way these go on. Come on. Stop fighting me. It's interesting doing this for camera too, because like I've gotten into it where now I know what the camera can and can't see. So I'm intentionally holding things more flat. If I was holding this the way that I would normally work on it, it'd be like this. Y'all wouldn't be able to see anything. Which I'm sure I'm doing for like half this shit anyway, but trying my best. Kind of getting to the hang of it. There we go. That's one jaw. The other one going here. But yeah, so that is the thing with Shakespeare. Reading it and speaking it are totally different things. And for the longest time, I had to listen to it being spoken. Not necessarily spoken in character with choices made, with acting choices and all that, but like just people saying the stuff in the rhythm, so I could actually get a feel for what was trying to be said. Okay, so these just don't close. Gotcha. That's disappointing. I was hoping we'd have some chompy jaws here. Yeah, okay, so whoops. The piece that holds it on is put on from one of the 4 studs on the back on an angle. And each of those 4 studs on the back are behind the tallest of the little spiky bits. So that's what's stopping it from closing, unfortunately. So even if I change it to a different one, it wouldn't be able to snap shut, which is a little disappointing. Is that the whole thing? Oh shit, that's the whole thing. Well, there we go. There's our little fly trap. I'm going to try to angle it a little more close to each other. I think there is a fly trap with this like little bit of red down there too, by where it connects the stem, but I'm not sure on that. So someone who knows more. I'm a succulents person mostly. I have a decent knowledge on succulents, but I know very little about what's it called? What are these carnivorous plants? Which is what this episode is apparently, aside from the first one. So yeah, there's our little guy, or Venus flytrap. This one's actually, weirdly enough, like, okay, in that view it's pretty good actually. I like that a lot. I was about to say, this one I don't actually. It looks more convincing on the paper than it does in real life. But now that I've seen it kind of from that side profile view, it looks pretty good. Whoop. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna have to start finding more places in my apartment for these things to go, because good God, is there not enough space for all this on top of those speakers. So my long-winded roundabout point about Willie Shakes. And I'm sure he would just love knowing that I call him that, right? But it's a lot of people really like it because it gives you so much opportunity, and that's genuinely part of the reason his work has stuck around so long and been so timeless, because the way he writes lets you just interpret things however you want. But that's where the problem comes in for me, because, and I feel like I'm probably not the only one who feels this way, but to me, I actually prefer to work with limitations. So with a Shakespeare play, the sky's the limit. You know, you can pull out any theme. You can excuse me. You pull out any theme. You can, focus on any little storyline. You can ignore others. You can find stuff in there that, like, nobody is going to notice in an audience unless they're extremely well versed in theater and just, follow storylines and do leitmotifs and all this ridiculous, really awesome storytelling stuff. But the problem is, these scripts don't lend itself to any of that, right? They don't suggest anything. And it's because they're such a blank slate like that it's the same reason for both, right? The same reason that you can do anything with it is the same reason that it doesn't lead you in any direction. Whereas, more contemporary plays, right? And I can't think of one off the top of my head because I was going to say the one that I'm working on, but I don't know if I want to. So I can't think of the playwright's name off the top of my head, and I really don't want to shout out this play without saying the playwright and everything. But there's a lot of most more contemporary shows are... Nope, he's going the other side. Most of these more contemporary shows will... or scripts, I should say. Real quick, my question is, why are these ones red? Because, like, these are gray, and these are... I could see it being one color or the other, but why are some one and some the other? It's just odd to me. Anyway, but yeah, a lot more contemporary plays will like lead you in a direction, and it's almost like it gives you something to work off of, right? There are more confines that you have to work inside, and to me, a lot of times that's more of an interesting challenge than you can just do whatever you want, right? And it really all just depends on which type of challenge you prefer taking, because I don't think one is easier or more difficult than the other, right? I think it's going to be more easier, more difficult for certain people based on what skills they have, the way they like to work. Oh, look at that. I skipped a step and did it the same way anyway. Yeah. So it's interesting. I don't know. Shakespeare, interesting stuff. So yeah, for me, it's like working on Shakespeare. It's almost like when I start, right? It's almost overwhelming in a way, because it's like, well, what the hell do I do with this? But for other people, for a lot of other people, most of the people I've worked with actually are like, oh, this is great. I can do whatever the hell I want. And I'm like, oh no, I have to do whatever I want. What do I want? It's like there's so many opportunities and so many directions you can take it that it's almost like this like decision paralysis, you know, where you just get stuck and go, well, I don't know what to do here. What else can I do? Why am I laying these out? I'm going to put them on the thing in a second. Whoops. These all go straight into there. I'm just going to push them all the way in. It doesn't look like they did that in the video, but in the video, yeah, there's a video that I'm watching apparently in the instructions, but that is what I am doing. So yeah, weirdly, today it turns out we were in for a more philosophical episode. About, you know, deconstructing art. We did the stand-up comedy thing. We did the, oh, that's an interesting way to set these up. Stand-up comedy, talked about the Shakespeare thing, which, by the way, that opinion on Shakespeare is controversial within the theater industry. Because a lot of people love working on Shakespeare shows. Which is fine, good for them. My wheelhouse is actually more, or not my wheelhouse, but my preference, honestly, is more, you know, small cast, dark shows with confusing themes that are, like, really intimate, preferably with weird staging. And usually they end up having some sort of experimental sound stuff going on, which is fun for me, of course, because I'm a sound designer. Oh, this next step is just put the thing on the thing. Well, there we go. The thing is on the thing. Not bad. I kind of wish these were a different color, if I'm honest. Or maybe if it was a bigger plant, it might be a little more convincing. These go on each of... Get off my finger. These go on each of these. The reason things keep sticking to my hands, by the way, is because I put lotion on right before I did this because my hands felt really dry. And the lotion is really just like, with the plastic, just makes everything want to stick because the oiliness. Alright, and I'm going to try to line the back of it up with the edge of this. Do I? No, I think I want it further back, right? Probably like all the way in. Let's find out. Well, it didn't work because it doesn't fit like that. So let's try it not that way. And then push the thing in until it looks roughly even. Which it is apparently never going to do. Alright, I see how it is. So I'll just push these all the way in and push the other ones, pull the other ones out, because the other ones can come out a little further. Pull the other ones out until they look like they're going in a circle. Because I don't like this little thing they got going on where it's like some are a little in further than the others. I would like them all to be roughly out, sticking out the same distance. And from your angle, it looks more circular. But if I bring it up there and show you like this, see how these two stick out a lot further than the other ones? So all this stuff looks better on camera. It's interesting. It's like this set was designed to be photographed or something. Which I guess would explain all of the like really nice photography of it on box and in the instructions. Because it is quite nice. I imagine photographing Lego would have to be really like specific, you know? Like, it's toy photography, but it's also toy photography that's like flat reflective surfaces and surfaces with real specific curvature. Like, I bet you could get the car commercial lighting with Lego real easy, right? All right, it's not going to be perfect because these can't actually pull out quite far enough. So I think what I would do, but I don't have the materials, of course, because it didn't come with the kit. I just have what's with the kit. What I would do if I were designing this kit is I would have put, for these ones, the 4 inner more ones. See how that one's, where is it? This one? See that's sticking out a little bit more? It makes the whole thing look a little more round. I prefer it that way. What I would do is stick each of them on a stud with a hole through it, like these. That way they could just stick out just that little bit further. I think that would go a long way. Come on. Sorry, I'm like having to really focus on this. Not commentating much here. Is my head in the shot? It's not. I'm honestly surprised. I guess that is what's nice about having the camera like so far back, angled down towards me, is my head's not going to be right under it. All right. And there is our sundeer, which I said like Zay Frank. If you don't know who Zay Frank is, he is hilarious, and he makes comedy educational videos about animals mostly. What is it called? I'm blanking on the name of the series. True Facts. It's called True Facts. Watch True Facts on YouTube. It's awesome. It's actually a new one came out earlier this week, I think, and I haven't watched it yet. It looked good, though. All right, some more spare parts there. Those can go off to the side. So now we've done these 3. Our whatever this was called, our Venus flytrap, and our sundew. Put those back out to the side. And let's see what the big one for this was. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, the pitcher plants. All right, so this is bag 4. Where is it? Of course it's the one that's on the bottom, because why wouldn't it be? All right. Bag number 4. There we go. Oh my god, they're safari hats. It doesn't want to... Hold on. Can you see better on this one? You might be able to. Let's see. Whoop. It doesn't want to focus that close. But yeah, it's the little safari hats. Let's see if I can get it on the other one. Ah, that's a little better. I don't know what I did different this time. Kind of cool. Again, I can already tell I'm going to be pissed off because I know it's being paired with this color, and those are very not the same color. You can kind of see a little better on this camera. Which is weird because this camera does a worse job at replicating colors of like most things, and the, you know, this camera, this one here, is usually the better one at that. But something about this setup and the lighting angles and stuff make the not face cam one just kind of wash out all the colors. All right, make an alley into my building zone here. There we go. Oh yeah, and that is something I should say too. There will be a week soon. While I'm here talking about theater stuff, right? There will be a week soon. By soon I mean sometime in the next couple weeks here, where I'm like, hey, I can't do any this week, any live stream, because I will be in tech, and there is no way in hell I am doing tech and then coming home and doing one of these. That is too much. My voice can't handle it. Weirdly enough, I actually don't do that much talking in my daily life, so my vocal cords have kind of gotten, I've like lost endurance since the pandemic. Since the beginning of the pandemic, I should say, because up at the beginning I was working at an outdoor testing site, you know, so I was having to like yell things through closed car windows constantly, and I got really good at. Actually, that I haven't lost. My projection voice, I can get pretty loud and pretty clear. I have it able to carry over distance pretty well, but. Okay. If this feels familiar, it's because this is how this video started. We were building this exact same pot. There we go. I may have pushed that too far in. I can't tell. No, I don't think I did. And this goes on top. Ooh. The things holding the pot arms, the corner edge things, angly bits of the pot, they're red this time instead of green. Or in the words of Aaron Hansen of Game Grumps fame, green. Green. Speaking of Game Grumps, I used to be able to do a really good Mr. Grubba. I don't know if I could do it anymore. Which, like, if you don't know who Mr. Grubba is, or what that story is, which I'm sure if the people who are watching are the people I think they are, hello people I think are watching, then you've heard me talk about this a million times. But for anyone else who doesn't know, or who doesn't watch Game Grumps, which I don't really watch Game Grumps anymore, I do watch 10-minute Power Hour still. But they played Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, right? And because Aaron Hansen is a voice actor, he was giving voices to most of the characters. And, of course, Dan was, you know, joining in and playing along, voicing other characters, or trying to mimic Aaron's voices to make up his own lines. And that's what you do when you're doing a Let's Play, and it's a mostly text-based game, right? Is you essentially you're reading the text and you kind of just make up your own lines and add them to the game as if they were just there, as if they were part of the script. And that's like part of, to me anyway, that's part of what makes Let's Plays worth watching, is the commentary just adding content to the game, you know. But I digress, because apparently I'm in an art philosophy and content media analysis mood today. If you want to hear more about my thoughts on Let's Plays and all that sort of stuff, that whole like video game YouTube genre, there's a fantastic video by a channel on YouTube called Eddache, Edddache. His name is Eddie Bowley. He writes for Tom Scott, but there's a fantastic video I think it's titled something along the lines of When Let's Play Becomes Roleplay or something like that. But it's a media analysis of a series called, also a YouTube/Twitch series called, what is it? Half-Life VR, but the AI is self-aware. And if you've never seen it, it is hysterical. Essentially, it is a main character played by Wayne Radio TV on YouTube and Twitch, who is essentially the straight man, you know, the normal one, the last sane man in the whole thing, and everyone else is ridiculous. He's playing the main character of Half-Life, whose name escapes me, Gordon Freeman. That's it, in VR, and the VR totally makes it, because as he like looks around, you are feeling his, you know, emotions and everything through the camera movements. It's pretty fantastic. There's a great shot, and I think in the Headache video it's actually mentioned, where one of the characters, who's like an inept scientist essentially, shoots a rocket launcher, right? And it goes like straight over Wayne's shoulder, and you know, you see the camera from his perspective be like and like pull out of the way and watch the rocket go flying past him. And it's like, if it wasn't VR, that would be that just natural reaction that shows so much emotion in that moment. That type of stuff just, you know, wouldn't be there as much. It'd be more muted. You could do it with keyboard and mouse, but like in VR, it is just what you would actually do if you were standing there, you know. But I digress. Oh, these got to go on here first. Fantastic series. If you are going to watch it, I will say the YouTube version is better because it's cut down and it's more like a highlights. And it kind of makes the pacing bearable to watch, because in the original full-length VODs, I think it's, I believe it's much longer and there's not as much cut out. And it's not a problem. It's just, it's really long. And if you want to have the good parts, mostly, that's the way to do it, is watch the VODs on YouTube. But where was I going with that? But yeah, the Headache video pretty well sums up a lot of analysis I have on sort of video game media. It talks about the different things where it's you know, how do these different types of theater and types of performance apply to people, you know, improvising and role-playing in video games on the internet, and then uploading it, and people watch it for entertainment. They're not watching for the gameplay. They are watching for the people playing the game, and not just playing the game, but improvising. And it's not just talking over a game either. It's not just commentary. It is improv. More often than not, improv comedy. And to me, right, that applies even to things like Hermitcraft, you know, which is the one Minecraft series I still really watch. That and the YouTuber Shalz, Shalz, I think, has a really good Create Mod series that I've been watching. And that one's actually pretty good. It's a pretty different format for me, because it's like long half-hour to 45-minute videos, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And he only releases them once every month or so there's an insane amount of progress in each video. It kind of actually makes Create Mod seem way easier than it really is, and way less time-consuming than it really is. And if you don't know what that is, Create Mod is a Minecraft mod that adds a lot of kinetic sort of contraptions into Minecraft. It's very mechanical. So instead of most other mods where they'll have, you know, one or two mechanical things that are big multi-block structures that it'll be like, oh, you can make these windmills that generate power, and then you just harness that electricity and use it to do other things. Create mod is you harness the mechanical rotation from that windmill to do other things. It's very cool. I've been enjoying it lately. Enjoying playing it lately, I should say. Did I? No, that doesn't need to go on yet. Okay. I like these parts. I don't know why. These bits are fun to build. This ring. I don't know, this pot is just satisfying. Don't take that sentence out of context. The editor that isn't going to be there. Edit a blunt in my mouth when I say that. Imagine, as you watch this, that someone had edited a blunt into my mouth in post-production, but like really poorly. So it doesn't look like it's actually there. See, isn't the joke funnier when I describe it than when it actually happens? Yeah, I don't know. I like Headache a lot as a YouTuber and a video essayist. Because, is it controversial opinions time with Andrew? Is that what we're gonna do tonight? Am I gonna fire shots on video essays? I think I am. Oh boy. All right, here we go. To me, right? I'm gonna try to phrase this carefully because I know people will get upset if I don't. But to me, if you're not making use of the video format, you shouldn't be making a video essay. You should actually be making like a podcast, or an audio essay essentially, or just writing an article. It's kind of easier than ever to get articles looked at from independent people with like Substack and all that stuff. Although I think Substack is not the jam lately. I think people have been kind of trying to leave Substack, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't remember what that was all about. I think it was something the owner did or something like that, or I don't know. Anyway, but there's other sites like that. Like that's to me, right? A video essay where you're just and this is where people are going to get pissed off. A video essay, and I promise I'm not upset at anyone. I don't mean this in a mean way. A video essay where you are just sitting in front of a webcam talking to camera, that is still a video essay, but unless you are, doing some visual storytelling, or essentially the essay equivalent of visual storytelling with your face, or interspersing visual examples, or, bringing in visual aids to look at, holding up an artifact in front of the camera. Like, if there's one reason for the video to exist in there, right, then it makes sense to be a video essay. But to me, right, if I'm just going to sit and talk straight to a camera for like an hour, right, because a lot of video essays are pretty long, for like, between 15 minutes and an hour and a half, somewhere in that span, right? If you're going much longer than like 20 minutes, that's just a lot of time with nothing happening on screen. And so to me, like, video essay as a format is only really a video essay when you're actually like using the medium. So like bring up visual aids, put video on screen. Could do like what Headache does and animate parts of it, Although his are more of a comedic tone. So that I know that doesn't work for everybody. But it's that sort of thing. I always go, whenever I see one that's, oh, you really can't see what I'm doing there, can you? Whenever I see one that's kind of a, just straight talk to camera, I kind of go, why was video the medium of choice here? And actually, I know the reason. It's probably because it's a person who already has a... Oh, I did this wrong. Who probably already has a decent following on a video platform, right? Like, realistically, that's probably the reason. And because, you know, if it's going on YouTube, you probably are better off, you know, recording the video and being on camera than just uploading a sound file with a picture over it, because a lot more people are going to stick around and watch the one with you on camera. But yeah, I don't know. It's always just one of those things where it's not like, I don't hate it when video essayists don't, like, you don't need to be taking the medium to a new level or anything like that. I don't hate it. It's not like it bothers me, but I always just kind of go, oh man, I always see it and I go, there's just potential here to do so much more. I say that as someone who's never made one, to be clear. So, I'm well aware. I've scripted and edited enough video and audio to know that is not a small feat to make a video essay. Believe me when I say there's a reason I've never done one. Partially because my own standards are so high. I would like to at some point, just to try it. I don't know what I would do it on, though. I'd like to do it on my opinions on stand-up comedy, but I think there is no way with any sort of talking about stand-up that you could just not piss people off by having opinions. I feel like every opinion... I feel like literally every opinion is controversial with stand-up. It's not just like, oh yeah, people wouldn't like my opinions. But I feel like it would turn into more of a... I think literally any perspective on it would have someone else pissed off. What else could I do? There's tons of like cartoon and media analysis things I could do. That's the thing, right? There's a lot of video essays, and frankly, I'm sure there's people who are upset about it who are more, I don't want to say purists necessarily, but people who like a video essay, you know, I could easily imagine a lot of people not liking the comedic ones, right? But then again, like one of the most popular, I don't know actually about this claim, but I think it's true. One of the most, or at least more popular video essayists is H Bomber Guy, and he does funny shit all the time. Like he's got tons of jokes in his videos, and frankly, they're usually pretty artistic at that. Even the lowbrow ones. Maybe not the lowbrow ones, actually. But, like, you know, one of the most popular video essayists are, like... It is the person who, in the middle of a video, takes an axe to the back wall of his set, busts a hole through it, puts his face through, and yells at the camera, you know? So I don't think... maybe... I was going to say, I feel like comedy would probably be kind of seen as cheating a little bit to keep an audience engaged, but at the same time, I'm like, wait, hold on. Everyone does it. Do I want this symmetrical? I don't think I do. I think I want this more in, this one more to the side. Let's get this one angled a little that way. Yeah. And then this one can kind of go sideways like that. Yeah. Look at that. All right. And I'll turn it around for you. There we go. There's our pitcher plants. Oh, that's a good angle. Oh, you know what? I was saying earlier before that it was annoying me that the greens didn't match. But I just realized what they're doing here. They are changing the colors here to make a gradient from this dark green stem color up to this light sort of minty, but sort of like off-white yellowy green. They're creating an illusion of a gradient there, which I should have spotted right away, actually, because that's the kind of stuff I look at and enjoy in Minecraft a lot. This is cool. I like this. I like these plants. Part of me wants to stay a little longer and talk about more stuff, but I also want to leave more to do next time, because I'm kind of running out of kits pretty quick here. Let's see. How long do I have? Excuse me. Yeah, next weekend will be my... Let's see. I'll be doing one of these next weekend for sure. The week after that is up in the air. Because I'll be in tech. Actually, next weekend might be a maybe too. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Maybe I'll put these on the schedule at some point. I don't know. That way people can actually get notifications. Do I want people getting notified is the other question. I don't know. Let's get a family photo here of all of them. Whoops. I say that not looking at the screen. There we go. Oh, I don't think I held this up to this camera yet. Better color. Sorry, I saw my face and I had to make a face at myself. It's quite nice. This light green. Oh shit, I broke one of them. That light green matches my shirt pretty close on camera. It is much more I don't know how to describe it. Much more muchier in real life. I feel like that works in this context, right? Let me get back to the other camera. That is not the camera I thought I was going to, but you know, that works just as well. And undestroy this plant. There we go. And let's see. Alright, time for these to join the others. Where in the hell am I gonna put these? I feel like I can figure out a way to put them on the set back here. Let's see. These are tall, and this side is got a lot of tall stuff. So I'm wondering if I can kind of scoot these all in closer and stick that right in the back there. Kind of towers over everything a little bit though. You really can't see half the shit on that one. Oh, I just realized I was in the way of it for you. Now you can kind of see a little bits and pieces of everything, but not great. Let's see if I can get this one in on the other side in a similar fashion. Kind of scoot all this up together. Get that right in the back. Yeah, there we go. Actually, I could probably do something like this. And then get this and that right up in front. Scoot this one back a bit. How's that look? Yeah! Oh, that's starting to look like an actual plant display. Now, what in the hell do I want to do with the sundew? Which, weirdly enough, is like, out of all these plants I did today, is probably my favorite, but I like the Lego representation of it the least. Yeah, I don't know. It's very odd. I think it's the colors. I think the colors are, like, weirdly not vibrant. It's a lot of, like, dark brown and reddish dark brown. Got an idea. swap out this. Stick the honeydew in its place, because that's a little taller like this side. You really can't see a fucking thing on that. And then see if there's some way I can squeeze this in here. No, you aren't going to see that. Hold on. I should do this the opposite way. So leave this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That already has 7. This only has 6. So let's see. Can I get... honeydew, get the Venus flytrap up in front, the honeydew right in the middle here. That one kind of off to the side. Get the spiky guys on that one over there. And then, how do I like that? Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we'll get this little purpley guy, and we'll see if I can squeeze it onto this one. Kind of scoot those back. Yeah, we can get it right up in the middle here. Perfect. Fitting the last of them on here next week is gonna be a doozy. At some point, I think a lot of these are gonna move to my dining room table. I don't have a dining room or a dining room table. I have a folding table that sits in the corner. No, I think a bunch of these are gonna move to my coffee table at some point, just because it makes a nice little arrangement. But I can't keep all these here because, oh my god, I knock them over so often. What you may not know is where that Christmas light strand hangs down in the middle there. That is directly maybe like 8-10 inches toward the flag side of it is where the electrical outlet behind that desk is. So it just turns into a nightmare of trying not to knock things over every night when I unplug that light. So I have that light on all the time because, all right, to orient in case the person who's watching isn't the people who I think are watching, and maybe you've never seen if you're watching this and you've never been to my apartment before, which is, let's be honest, probably not the case, but you know, just in case. Right over there, just off camera actually, like a foot past the edge of that speaker, is my bed. And that way you can see the closet door. So this light strand here, there it is. This light strand goes up and over the pride flag, around this corner, back this way, across the whole top of the, I keep thinking cabinet. Not cabinet. Not dresser. I'm losing it. Closet. Jesus Christ. And then hangs down next to the desk. And it flickers. It's got some of the flashy lights. So what I'll end up doing in the evenings usually is I'll turn it on. And it creates almost like a fake fire effect in this whole end of the apartment. It's really nice. And as I'm like winding down from the day, getting ready to go to bed, I'll lay in bed on my phone for like 20 minutes before I get tired and actually go to sleep. And then I'll have this light on, and it'll make it look like firelight, almost like a fireplace somewhere, or a bunch of candles. Shine the way it shines around the room and flickers on and off. It's a really nice effect, actually. I am going to, since I'm still talking, build the remnants of this here, because I like to do this with Legos. Just build the spare parts. And I know, excuse me, you can't see it very well because they're all very tiny, but trust me, it is happening. Building has been occurring. Get this. Ooh, how do I want to set this up? Long stem first, maybe? No. Don't think I like that, actually. Oh, shatsky. There we go. Did drop a piece. Almost made it through a whole one without dropping a piece. There we go. We'll angle that out. We'll get... Actually, let's do this. Because this will make this easier. Jesus. Oh. Launching pieces at myself. Put this through here. Just, come on. So tiny that it's easy to knock them all over the place. Can't believe I haven't been knocking things off the desk this entire time. There we go. Get it like that. And then I can stick both of these two together. There we go. Stick it on there. I can get the little flowery bit going there too. And then from that, no, I can't do it from that. Hold on. Please hold. Flowery bit has to go in the middle. Which I think will actually look better anyway. Yeah, it does look a little better. Then we'll get this going. And shit, I'm not going to be able to use all of these. Weird. It's a weird combination of pieces. I guess that's kind of the whole thing. Kind of get a little leafy sort of deal going here. Or maybe stop it. Can that fit in there? No, it can't. Okay. I don't know. Weird alien flower. That's what I came up with. Get that on this camera a little bit. Oh, that's why I liked this view better, because I can put things in front of the cameras and it's like roughly the same size. Duh. Cool. Alright. Well, I've got 4 pieces left over, so those are just going to end up going in the big old Lego box somewhere. Or do I have pieces that can go with them? I kind of do. Can I stick that halfway in there and stick this one halfway in the other side? There we go. We've got a whatever that is. Alright, I'm just thoroughly dicking around at this point. I'm going to say that is just about it for now. Thank you all for watching. This was a real interesting one. I think today I don't have subtitles for these really, but I think the subtitle would be giving my unsolicited opinion on everything. So yeah. I am planning, saying tentatively, there should be one of these next week as well. But, oh, thank you. Yeah, it is a cute little flowery bit. No idea what it is. Probably some horrible alien plant that's going to destroy life as we know it. But, you know, that's how these things go. Anyway, that is it for this one. There will probably be a stream next week, and it'll probably be more of the same stuff. I'll see you when I see you.